we generated around 560 plus million impressions organically. Those
creating property cards for the first time for people owning houses in the rural areas.
We have a patent on a bits technology, which...
But we were really guided by what we wanted it to be.
In terms of the content consumption pattern has changed.
Very competitive, very crowded.
The objective is basically to democratize cancer care.
I see a very bright future for retail industry.
Technology now allows us to scale up.
We also want to help patients become more compliant.
If I look at the custom solutions market, it's almost about $1,500 billion.
Your customers will not continue to be with you if you don't change gear.
We had adopted digitalization much earlier.
Within a very short span of time, we are the number one operator in the whole of South India.
If you are reaching out to a lakh people today, you would be reaching out to an entire globe tomorrow.
We got those two brands and then immediately got into a few of the LFRs and there was no looking back.
Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to the 43rd episode of Ascent Talks. My name is Ajit and I've been an Ascent member for over 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And as usual, my co-host is back. Hi, Aleem. How are you doing, buddy?
Hi, Ajit. Just while you thought you were going to run this show on your own, I'm back. So hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to Ascent Talks. And, it's interesting because Ascent has completed 11 years. And Ajit, why don't you tell us what is Ascent?
Yep. To all those guys who are joining us for the first time, Ascent is a not-for-profit organization that helps entrepreneurs grow their business. It was founded by Harsh Mariwala, Chairman Marico Limited, in 2012 and has helped over 850 entrepreneurs. Ascent's key feature is its trust groups, where entrepreneurs can share experiences and ideas. Ascent Talks is hosted weekly to showcase the journeys of its members. So, Aleem, let's bring in our guest today.
Absolutely. Welcoming Hitesh Sarvaiya. He's the Managing Director of NPS Drive Automation. If you're looking to optimize an existing machine or develop a new one, NPS Drive Automation and Hitesh, with their experience, knowledge, expertise, and offer product solutions and complete automation systems, engineering services, and tools from a single source. Hitesh is your man to put your ideas in motion.
Welcome, hey, Hitesh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Hitesh. Good morning, Hitesh.
Good morning.
Yeah, so I think you've given a short intro. I would just expand a bit on that.
Yes, please.
Sure.
I'm Hitesh Sarvaiya, representing NPS Drive Automation Private Limited. I've done bachelor's in engineering as industrial electronics as a specialization, and I'm based in Mumbai and a workshop in Ahmedabad. So we are into business, as my friend Aleem mentioned, into industrial automation. As the word says, it's industry and automation and machine modernization since past 25 years.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
So just to...
It's good to see. Thank you for your comment. Thank you, Pankti, as usual, always. Yeah, Ajit.
Yeah. But Hitesh, one thing that I really want you to deep dive into is, you are in a very niche segment, all right? And you specialized and you created a kind of a segment for you in business where you do modernization of machines. Actually, you should take some time out to tell us what is this modernization that you've done? How has you built this business? And you come from a professional background. So take us through that journey of, how you actually got here and what are the big opportunities that this industry holds.
Okay, I would like to start and explain my viewers in a very basic language or a one-liner what this machine modernization means. I would say we add life to the old machines. It means we are making old machines live. And with the help of industrial automation, obviously, that's a main stress point that we are specializing in. And as an automation engineer, I started my career with I would say a job profile with a company which was doing power transmission. And from there, never looked back. After 5 years, I started an entrepreneurship, which was in 98. and that took me to more exploring more and more industry in different segments, and especially this triggered a thought at I would say around 2008 when I was fully into industry with segments like textile, plastic, metal, etc., and suddenly realized that India is struggling with the economy to grow, and at that moment people would not especially the manufacturing industry would like to be more and more competitive, and they wouldn't like to throw their old machines or just discard their old machine like what happens in Europe. And this light or this thought process, it was a spark, and we started our first retrofit in 2008. We call it as a machine retrofit. Retrofit is a very common word, but we called it in engineering terms as modernization. So what we did was we worked around the solutions of machine concepts, then machine retrofits and machine solutions, which came out from an idea of a client. So we worked very closely with client. Client were asking us, or rather sharing their problems, I would say, and the product got generated from their problems. And that was the biggest achievement, which I feel that, and that's the way it went all throughout. And today we have finished more than 125 different projects in different industries. And maybe I've not just pinpointed, but it is in different industry, varied industry, irrespective of whatever is the, I would say, the material. So we started with, simple logic that why this machine modernization. So to explain you in two-liner is that it is basically any machine is, I would say, mechanics life cycle is 50 years. And the process never change, mechanics never change, but what changes always is an automation segment, because the electronics starts getting obsolete every 10 to 15 years. And that 10 to 15 years life cycle, you need additional, I would say, an upgrade on the machine, which will give an extended life to the machine for another 12 years. So every, I would say, 50 years life cycle can give you three times the retrofit business. That was a strategy which we picked up, and today we are in a second generation of our retrofit business. So the same clientels after 12 years are coming back to us, and that's what is a big achievement in the different areas.
Right. Hitesh, what are the challenges you faced in the journey, of your entrepreneurship and this new thing that you were introducing?
So I would say this was a very specialized or a niche market for us to approach, especially the projects. What we did in textile was a denim plant. We were always competing with the OEMs who are making new machines and trying to sell new machines to Indian market, because India was growing as then that all the European guys are eyeing India, because I would say, especially in denim, it was a polluted market in Europe and US, and people wanted to push in the Asian market, and where Indian customers were looking at always the situation where it was always a catch and cook, that whether to invest a lot in a new project and plant, or revalidate their old machines and then extend the life, and the cost proposition attracted them to discuss with us. And plus what we did was, additional thing which I would like to mention is that we added value to their old machines and got them upgraded to a level which new machines were available. Because of globalization, we were able to integrate all those things what happened in the global market to back in India with our own solutions, with our own softwares. So that was the biggest stuff. And the challenging situation always would be, I would say, sustainability, but we have gone through all these stuff, and till now, till 25 years, that's what we have done. So I would say, if you have studied, or if you have knowledge, always upgrade or constant learning, what has been a path for us, and that has kept us one step ahead in the market. So we introduced a retrofit way back in 2008, and I presume that was the key to be first one in the market for certain segments for us.
Hitesh, for most of us, majority of us who are not into engineering or not into manufacturing, and who doesn't even understand what retrofit, let's throw a little more light into this whole thing. I want you to actually take up three examples, which you've spoken about it also, is, right from the textile industry, metal industry, and plastics industry. So can you take us through a journey of, what have you done in these three industries? Like in textiles, you got Arvind Mills as one of your biggest customers. You got Ratnamani in metal as one of your biggest customers, and you got Jain Irrigation in plastics. Can you deep dive a little into it so that we all get clarity as to, what exactly is this retrofit?
Right.
And why do you have to do it, and what are the benefits a customer gets out of it?
Right. So, to be clear with these three segments, I would start with textile, which is our biggest client for me is Arvind Mills. We have done more than 25 old machines retrofits right from 2008 till today, and still keep on bidding different areas. Arvind Mill as everybody knows, is a pioneer in denim. The first machine came up in 1986, which was a denim introduced in Indian market. And that machine, I would say we took a privilege to retrofit this 1986 machine in 2000 era. And this has happened twice already. So we got privilege to work in that area. And the customer, as Arvind, what they looked at was that how do they utilize this machine from 1986 till today it is working. It means it is more than, I would say, if now almost 30, 35 years, it is still working machine. And they're getting output as good as a new machine. The advantage what they could get is the productivity what they lose after 10 years of life cycle of any machine has again gone back to 90%, which was earlier, but as it got lost from the new machine to after 10 years was almost, I would say, around 60 to 70%. So that was an advantage. Secondly, the speed which they wanted to increase their production was getting lost if the product gets older and older, the mechanics get older, the breakdowns are higher. That got come out, and they could also increase their production that level. One beauty of this retrofit was that we added, or rather I would say integrated, I would say a data analysis into our systems, which helped Arvind to collect the data as well. And today the industry 4.0 what people talk about, which we can discuss later on, but I would like to tell you that we made machine compatible to the industry 4.0 requirements, which is like analyzing data, or rather collecting the data from the machine with different processes happening. Like in a denim plant, it's an 100-meter long machine, and you even cannot see from one end the other end of the machine, but still you need to synchronize the whole machine line in such a manner that not a single yarn or a fabric, in this case it was yarn, it doesn't get stretched. And that's where, and different colors get added to the yarn, so it becomes the shaded jeans. So this process of synchronizing, with this process of at every stage there is chemical, there is temperature, there is the electrical power. At every stage air is there. You can take the data for every second, analyze this data, and then work out, I would say, a predictive maintenance, which was an advantage for an Arvind, that okay, now the machine has run for so many years or so many hours, and now you need an preventive maintenance. The motors have run for so much of time, temperatures have been gone through certain area, etc. So for Arvind, I would nutshell that the advantage happened is the increase in productivity. I would say less downtime, increase in machine life, which happened twice, which is almost 20 years extended by investing very small amount as compared to putting in whole denim plant. So this was the biggest advantage for Arvind as far as this is concerned. And this stamped us that, yeah, if we can do retrofit in such a big 100-meter long machine, why not this can happen in different areas in the manufacturing setup at Arvind. So this was a requirement. And then subsequently, we did not look back. We got one by one. We were very first entrant of retrofit system integrator, I would say, in that period. And we devised, every solution was different. So that was the biggest challenge for us in that particular segment of textile. And we got recognized, I would say, with Arvind as a background. And then we started at least 7 to 8 different denim lines in this. So this was an advantage with textile field as far as Arvind was concerned.
Sorry to interrupt you. Your business is so niche.
No problem.
You have monopoly or what in this business, or you have competitors? How does it work? Are you just sitting and printing money? Please tell us that. Then we want to pay more attention to you.
Automation.
I'm happy to hear this. That you think everybody thinks their business is the opposite, business is monopoly. But yeah, I would say we created a niche, I would say, and we enjoy doing physics. I would say today also I learned physics with my engineering skills, and I would say quite lucky to implement my engineering skills inside this. And this monopoly, as you said the word, it is not a monopoly, but it is how you talk with your client is more important, and how you address client's issue more than putting my product or putting my solutions to the client. The solution, as I told you earlier, it comes from the customer says, I have these problems. Yeah, so okay, let's work on this problem. And that's where I feel that if that's an approach, and I think most of the viewers would agree that we would like, this is very, very important for everyone, that don't talk about your product. It's about customer, always a customer. And that would be a success for you.
Yeah. So Praveen, we created. The answer to your question is yes. He's making tons of money. Period. Okay. That is the most simplistic answer. Otherwise, everything else is just a marketing jargon. But the truth is, he's making tons of money. Bottom line.
Yeah, but there is a lot of things going behind this. It's not that the project happens within a month's time or something. It's a lot of groundwork happening. We have to. This very one more important thing, as Aleem asked me, what are the challenges? The challenges was that machine is running. Okay, the customer wants to upgrade the machine, so he doesn't like to. He says, "Don't stop my machine. Okay, just do the retrofit." I said, "Boss, it's not possible. You need to give me some time. When you install a new line, you take 1 month to do that. So why can't you give me at least 7 days or at least 10 days or 4 days at least?"
Yeah.
So this was a challenge, and that challenge, if you manage it in we have fine-tuned ourselves to reduce these days from 10, 9, 8, 7. We have come to 4 days even, and now we are creating a modules which we call it as a repacks. These are our registered modules, which are repack means, for example, if I do denim, it is called D repack. If it is something else, it's start with that. So when you have the solutions ready and with the software and today the data analytic environment, we can have the things more faster. Again, coming back to the present situation of Industry 4.0, that you can reduce your commissioning. It has become nowadays a jargon of virtual commissioning, and I would touch upon that after the next segment, which is I would say metal industry, as you asked me.
Let's run this through quickly, which is on Ratnamani and this one about Jain irrigation. Just quickly run, because we are about so just these two questions quickly.
So regarding Ratnamani, it was a segment which was the first time a client approached us again that we need. It was a metal industry, and this metal industry was something new for me, because we were always in textile. Textile is very soft, I would say, and metal is too hard. It's just opposite. But we didn't look at what is the material. We just looked at what solution we did in textile. Why can't we do something similar in this? And the client came to us again, asking us, "Boss, I've got a 1958 or 60 machine, which I've started. I want to, I'm having a lot of problems to handle this machine, and we need an upgrade. We need a solution to this." So I am with a DC motor. It was an old machine generations with a DC. If people know in the industrial automation, there is a DC motor, an old technology. So I asked him that, okay, you have a line which is called as electro-resistive welding line, ERW line. It was the first time I also could understand what does ERW mean and what happens. So it was a pipe manufacturing company, and this pipe manufacturing works like you bend a metal sheet and convert it into a pipe. And this particular one was a DC motor, which was, I would say, 75 kilowatt a DC motor, 10 DC motors in a line. And subsequently, it asked us to, create a solution where they wanted to increase the speed. They want to reduce their, downtime. And we worked on a technical, calculation that what can be done. So we devised an optimized or an efficient product like AC asynchronous motors for that particular requirement. And we reduced the power by 30% because it was oversized as far as working. And these motors are as good as DC motors. So they increase the speed by twice and reduce the power by 30%. And that was the main advantage to Ratnamani Metal. And that stamped us that, yes, if we can do something like this in an industry which is 200 kilowatt line, and you can reduce the power by 30% and increase the speed by double, what else the customer wants? So that was the first time. And in 2012, we did this project. And in 2014, they could export their pipe, ERW pipe, to US, which was the first pipe 18-meter long, which they could export it. And that was an advantage. And this same line came to us again in COVID period to refurbish again. So this was, I would say, another feather in the cap. And moving on, the next segment came to us was plastic pipe. From metal pipe, it came to plastic pipe. Again, the raw material changed, but the pipe did not change. And the customer at Jain Irrigation, which is very popular in the Indian market, for irrigation, water irrigation is the most popular guy. And yeah, it was in Maharashtra where I'm based. So I was very keen to get this project. And it was just a challenge for me because we were competing with OEM. OEM had also offered them to do something. But this was a very, very critical thing. The main gist of this project was in metal pipe and plastic pipe is different. The plastic pipe is very soft. It is very hot when it comes out from an extrusion. And when it is very hot, you cannot afford to deform that pipe. The project of giant irrigation was 1.6 meter diameter pipe for water irrigation in the ocean. So it means they want a pipe which is 1.6 meter without deforming. So it means if somebody is extruding, I need to, the technical word used in that industry is called haul-off. It means I have to extract a pipe from an extruder and roll it out like a sugar cane. If it comes out from the 2 rolls, this was coming out from 12 rolls around the diameter of the pipe. It means you have to have 12 motors around the pipe, and all motors should synchronize in such a level at a speed of 0.01 meter per minute, which is exactly opposite of textile, which is 100 meter per minute or 40 meter per minute. So that was completely different. But yes, the process remains similar. We had to put our heads on for the selection. So in giant irrigation, the challenge was the selection of the product for the mechanics which they had built up, and that was pure industrial automation project for us. And with one project in hand, within 6 months we executed, and we were not asked any questions, but we were given order for the second line. And that was again quite a credit to do that. And just to be again sharing very proud of it, that 2 months back they called us that we need a retrofit for the same line again. And yeah, that's so I have to reinvent not the wheel, but I have to integrate that with the recent technology, or I would say an advanced technology, to add inside the new solution of that machine at a lower cost, obviously. Yeah.
So Aleem, the next 10 minutes, we are going to discuss what he's doing with all this money that he makes, and if he needs it. All right.
Yeah, I enjoy my work, I would say that way, more than money. So it's important that if you are into this line, I'm happy to understand that you're quite keen to know what we are doing. So yeah.
One thing I like about Ascent Talks is that how passionate all the entrepreneurs are. But since there is so much pressure to ask good questions, so I'll also ask one without sound, at the cost of trying not to sound dumb. So because I'm not from your industry, but Hitesh, can you tell us what the future of this industry holds with AI and camera vision technology coming into the business and stuff like that?
Okay, so a good topic or a good question to ask from your end. And just to add what we are doing, we in this year, in the current year, we entered into, as I said, every certain period of time, which I have understood from my practical scenario, that every 1,000 days I look for something new. And now that 1,000 days means 3 years has over. And last year, or at the beginning of this year, we entered into the requirement from customer. It came up that I want to detect defects in say, for example, textile. I want to detect a defect in, say, metal, for example. So that clicked us that nowadays there is cameras available. There are digital camera, the IoT, which comes out as only a data. So what do you need to do with data? So if we are able to do, for example, vision camera is if you attach this to your industrial automation solutions or your process, then you can observe that how optimized your product is coming out. For example, in textile, we have partnered with a company called Ooster, which are, I would say globally number one as far as vision system solutions are concerned. And we are integrating this vision solution inside our solutions of machine automation and attracting, I would say, a niche market again, which is technical textile, which is in non-woven. And this has, the advantage of this is that the person can increase his production by almost 10 times, because the speed at which this camera can detect, is mind-boggling. It is, you can design it at 100 meter per minute. So whatever people are doing with their manual eyes, that is only at 10 to 15 meter per minute, which is what a human eye can see. And if I multiply that by 7 times, for example, then that would give you a result which is very high. And you can detect all the parameters which you want, which you don't want, and you can adjust with the software. So everything is software based. And nowadays, if you introduce this, you can even, like, for example, in metal, I would say, we can detect how good the welding has happened. And if it is not happening good, you can guide the welding properly. So that's an advantage in this. Then as far as AI is concerned, these cameras work on algorithms, which work on how to optimize what falls to allow, what not to allow. For example, very tricky thing happening nowadays in textile. For example, if I want to visualize defects in denim, the defects are a fashion in denim. Yeah. So you exactly cannot, bifurcate whether to say that as a defect or whether say that as a fashion or a design. So again, algorithm helps you to do that, and that's what is AI about. I would touch upon here one more point is what people talk about the Industry 4.0. I would like my viewers to know about something more about it. That what this Industry 4.0 is nothing but data. It started with steam as Industry 4.1, electricity at the second stage. Third was your computerization. Now people are talking about data. So mobile is very popular, etc. Same thing in the industry today. This Industry 4.0 has got two arms. One arm is called as digital twin, and there is another arm called virtual commissioning. So the industry is going through such a massive leap, and if you don't address yourself, if you're not up to date to that level, even then you are completely out of the market. So digital twin is a future, which means digital twin means you create a virtual model of your machine on your software and put a stress on that virtual machine, that how this machine would work in various environment. And by collecting a lot of data, by putting a lot of sensors inside, by putting a lot of instrumentation inside the machine, and take up a data on your cloud data, that you can analyze the whole machine, how it is working. And that virtual model keeps on exchanging the data and gives you an analytical situation for any industry to do this. And the second thing is virtual commissioning. So because you have a data, you can easily do it at a very less time. The commissioning of any machine in future, which today we have to go to the site and do it for at least 10 days, 12 days, etc. Yeah. So,
awesome. You've been an Ascent member for quite some time. Tell us about your Ascent journey here. How's it been? How did you actually get into Ascent, and how's the journey been for you?
Okay, I was referred to by one of my friend, Jaidev. He's from RB Encon, and I entered into Ascent. I was interviewed for the first time, I would say, in a certain period of time, that somebody is interviewing me whether I'm eligible for Ascent or not. And nevertheless, I mentioned Archana again. So I was very confident, and I look forward that there is something which I can fine tune myself. Why not? So that's the reason why to come to Ascent. And I wanted to check what I've done. I wanted to, I would say, stamp it, recorrect it, or I would say, understand whether what I'm doing on the right path. So Ascent has helped me introspect, what I have been doing. It has given me discipline. It has given me how I organize myself. I've learned from that. My TG group is Parivartan, and actual Parivartan has happened to me in this 3 years of Ascent. I joined during COVID time. Initial 1 year was only, it was online meetings, but as of now, I'm facilitating the group, and I'm more and more getting more and more organized, and finding time more for my work as well, and at the same time enjoying my Ascent journey all throughout. So I'm very much happy that this platform has helped me everywhere, and I would like to thank the whole of Ascent team for this. Yeah,
that's great. And Hitesh, can you tell us a little about your personal life? I mean, who are you besides physics and mathematics?
Okay, so I would say I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. Yeah, I did my engineering like 3 idiots, just for information. So I implement exactly what I like. I would not do anything out of this. I like sports. I like travel. I like sports volleyball, and traveling is my passion. I would say I've traveled most of the places. Lately started trekking, and that's become also another added value to it. My wife is my rock support. She's a partner in my business, and also a guiding. She's also.
What's her name? What's her name, Hitesh?
Let me guess.
One sec. Hold on. Let him say it. What's his name, Hitesh? What's her name?
Rupal Sarvaiya.
There you go. So Rupal is making this hard pitch. Oh, now batao, sales pitch kar. दूसरा मौका नहीं मिलेगा sales pitch kar.
Okay, I would sell it to her then. So the cost of these projects, what she has asked, that how is the cost of this project comparable to the global market? Yeah. So we are doing at an economical cost, which can be affordable to Indian industry. At the same time, we are adding so much of a value that it cannot, go at a very, low cost. But I would say the ROI works out for every client within 2 to 3 years. And that is an amazing figure of 2 to 3 years to remove your ROI from this. In certain projects, it is even sometimes less than a year. But I wouldn't say this on this forum at the moment. Again, it would start on how much money you're making. So, but anyway, it's like it is important that how fast you give returns to your client, And it is always a competition. There are people, there are system integrators in the market. Everybody has their own market. But if you are, stamped with your services, if you hear what customer is asking, and people nowadays are clear that if you need quality, you have to go to XYZ, and that's where if you create your image, I think you are called for it. So that can multiply a lot of your business. And my both sons as well, apart from Rupal, who handles my office as an execution team, she's a computer engineer. So the software is a tool with which she takes on with my whole team. So I am very glad that we have a team which is also, I would say, most of the people are more than 10 years old with us.
Wow.
And that's what has helped me all throughout, and that is the main strength, I would say. And also both boys, I have two boys, and they are also computer engineer, and I've got great support from my family in this line, and following footsteps of even my father, who's an electrical engineer. So I love what I'm doing, and I'm in a space where I can explore more. My learning is not stopping, so I'm craving for whatever learning I can do at every stage of my life. It may be technical, it may be even family values and responsibility. Yeah. So that's a key to success, I would say. Yeah.
Amazing. Too good. Great, Hitesh. We've just had enough time to actually cover our session today. So we're going to
right.
So thank you so much for taking time out and sharing these thoughts with us. It's been a pleasure to hearing it out from you.
I would say thanks for
thank
giving
you so
me
much,
this
Hitesh. It's
platform
been a
to
pleasure
talk
to
to
have you
everyone.
with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Hitesh.
very much.
See you soon.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Thank you, Hitesh. Bye. Yeah, so we've had some very interesting comments and solid engagements out here. I received one nice one. So the whole family is in the retrofit business. No, dude, Sudhir, they're in the business of making money. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. That's what we do. All right, but it was a good, fun session. A lot of learning, very interesting, and we're just about done with our time. So we are done with our 43rd episode. So if you are one of those entrepreneurs who like to listen to us and who've been strongly following it, share it out. Share it out with another entrepreneur. You might just love to listen to these inspiring stories. But if you are growth ready and you really want to take your business to the next level, which is India's, be part of the India story, get to ascentfoundation.in and apply for membership. And the Ascent team will get in touch with you. And if you're truly growth ready, we'll be happy to have you as part of our cohort. So thank you very much, guys. We're going to see you next Friday at 11 a.m. with another interesting story. What do you say, Aleem? See you next Friday.
Absolutely. Looking forward. Great show. Thank you, guys, and see you soon.
Have a wonderful weekend, guys. See you. Bye-bye.